Okay, record this. And we're gonna take a look at registration. I'm gonna share a screen with you. I'm gonna share a screen with you. Registration is coming. Actually very exciting. I don't know why people don't dial in. Registration is coming. It's here. In a few days, your advisor will email you for registration. That's for signing up classes for next semester, spring 2021. I hope for the class here, we still have a lot of people haven't turned in the assignment yet. So if you haven't turned in the previous assignments, I'm still accepting those. Please take some time to finish it. I hope everyone is serious about the school, because once you sign up for the school, if it's your own money, definitely if you don't pass, you wasted money. And also you have a bad record on your transcript, which you cannot get rid of it. And now if you have like grants or student loan, if you don't pass a class, eventually you'll have to pay back. And also you have a permanent record of that. So I would suggest that everyone in this class be really serious about the school. There is a consequence. Once you go to school, if you don't pass, do your best, do your best. At least you got to come to school, come to class on time and every time. Certainly this semester is kind of, it's a special situation because of the pandemic of the virus. Otherwise, you really got to set the school as your first priority. Come to school, get a good grades, no matter how your schooling is funded. Okay, so registration here, class for spring. Some of those questions you need to ask yourself is that some of the classes, are you in a class that you don't like this semester? Are you taking a class at a time you don't care for? Are you with an instructor you don't like? And those are the questions. And you need to ask yourself so that for next semester, you're trying to avoid those problems altogether. Okay? And let's be serious. Let's be serious. So those are the questions that you got to ask yourself. I will post this PowerPoint too, okay? And certainly the positive side is that if you're doing good, you got to feel good. So this is a post, this is a PowerPoint that is specially made for University 101. It asks you, okay, whether you can make it into honor roll. What is the GPA needed to be on the present honor roll? Dean's honor roll. I think the present honor roll is 3.5. Dean probably is 3.2 or 3.0. I got to check that. But anyway, if you're doing good, you got to keep up the good work, and also you got to feel good about yourself, because this is going to be the toughest semester. This is the first semester you have here. Okay. Now, if you are not doing good, then something for some of our students that you need to consider is that we already talked about the policy. That's why I ask you to check the policy. If you didn't do good, then you gotta ask yourself, what about the probation and the suspension of that? And make sure you check your midterm grades. Check your midterm grades. That will be due out tomorrow at 2 p.m. Will be due out tomorrow at 2 p.m. Okay. And check that. That make a difference to your next semester schedule too, because a lot of classes have prerequisite. If you feel that you can pass a class that is a prerequisite for another class, you probably don't want to take that class. You probably don't want to take that class. So check your midterm grades, check your midterm grades. I hope everyone passed that. Now, if you're not serious, a suspension can happen, For the first semester, probation and suspension happens when your GPA is below, when your GPA is below 2.0. It can happen, okay? It can happen. Suspension and probation can happen. Probation is okay, you can still go to school. Suspension, if you're suspended, you have to wait out for a semester. Okay, here it is. That's GPA hours, suspension if overall GPA is less than, the first semester, you will not be suspended. It's just on probation if your GPA fell below 2.0. Next semester, if your GPA is fell below 1.5, then you will be suspended. So that's a table here. I hope that this don't happen to any one of us, but I look at this class and other classes. It's not promising. It's not promising. Again, as I said, no matter how you fund your schooling, you gotta be serious. You gotta be serious. If you fund by your own money, and if you don't make it, you waste your money. And if you fund it by student loan or grants, you say, well, heck, it's not my money. I don't care. But eventually it's gonna come back to haunt you, because the student loan, you can't even go bankruptcy. You can't wipe it out. So please be really serious about schools. This school, I feel, my personal feeling is that this school actually is really good at helping every student, If you have a problem, there are a lot of offices to help you. And now, as long as you are willing and you come to class, you are willing to learn, you will be able to get through it. You will be able to get through it. You will be able to graduate. You can repeat a class as many times as you need it to pass that class. And also, the second time you take the class, a better grade will flush out your old, not that so good grades. So that way, we will be able to guarantee you to graduate. But again, you have to be willing to learn. You have to be come to school and take the school seriously and come to class and finish the assignments and follow the instructions. Then you'll pass the class. Okay, so those are the readmission after suspension here. For the first suspension, you got to wait out for 1 semester. And then second, then you got to wait out for 2 semesters. So on and so forth. If you have 6 suspension, you got to wait out for 16 semesters. That's like 16 semesters. That's like 8 years. That's by the time you finish school, it's probably gonna be I don't know, 6 suspension. I haven't seen anybody doing that yet, but anyway, that's the rule. Okay, now Missouri Western, the completion rate. We have a student must maintain a completion rate of 97% to remain eligible for federal financial assistance. Okay, this is for financial aid. You got to complete 67% to remain eligible. So this one here. A student who loses financial aid eligibility based on rate of completion must attain and successfully complete a sufficient number of credit hours to raise his or her completion rate to the required 67%. So a suspension, that means you didn't complete the class. Let's say if you take 3 classes, you have to finish at least complete 2. You can only have 1 F to be eligible for the financial aid. University academic rules. students who are required to take developmental courses, Math 083, Reading 095, English 100 are expected to complete these courses during first semester. It's highly recommended. Okay, it's expected to complete, but it's not a must. It's not a have to. It's just you better to complete those in the first semester. It's highly recommended that you complete your math general studies and English general studies before you reach 60 credit hours. 60 credit hours. If you take 60 credit hours, which is 4 semesters. 4 semesters. So by the second year, you are expected to finish the math general studies or English general studies. Now for engineering students, the math requirement, there are, those are the math class, for example, math 116, math 119, trigonometry. Those are the prerequisites of many classes. And you are suggested to finish those classes, finish those math 116 and math 119 as early as possible, as early as possible. You must earn a C or higher in English 100, English 104, C or better. English 100, English 104. And student in development math 083 must earn at least a 40 on the MPE to move on. That's MPE, I think it stands for Math Proficiency Exam. You must also receive a C or higher in Reading 095 and pass the active placer test. That's a placement test. And you got to finish the class. Mass placement test, okay, mass placement exam. So, 083, if you are in 083, math 083, it's because you didn't have ACT math score, or your ACT math score is too low to be in other classes. That's why you will be in math 083. So that's a registration if you are not in math 083 yet. For the engineering department, we require math 116. So if your math score, the ACT score is between 18 to 12 to 21, then you will be signed up for math 110E or math 111E, which we don't count those towards the major. Our major requires math 116 and math 119. Okay, we require that. Now, if your ACT score is 22 or above, then you can directly go into math 116. And if your ACT score is 25 or above, you don't even need to take math 116. You can directly go into math 147, 165, 167. Those are Math 147 is applied calculus. So depending on your ACT score. And then if you take Math 083, you will need to take this mass placement scores test, exam, MPT, mass placement test. And if you still can't pass 40, then you got to remain, you got to retake Math 083. And you got to make 70, you got to make 70 or above in this MPT test to get into Math 116, which is, we require Math 116 for engineering programs. So please, if you are in Math 083, you got to do a better than average job to get into Math 116, okay? There are some questions here, which we already talked about the policy. We can take a look at this. How many hours does it take to obtain bachelor degree? 120 hours, 120 credit hours. Now those hours doesn't count. Those like Math 083, Reading 095, those doesn't count. It has to be 100 above. English 100 counts, but Reading 095 doesn't. See, course number 100, such as English 104, COM 104, are primarily for what? 100 are primarily for prerequisite. No, not really prerequisite. Those are general studies, primary general studies. I think this guy is from, the guy writing this PPT is chemistry department, okay? And now we in engineering department, we do have a course that is 100 level. It's also for major too. So this question here is not very accurate. Courses number 200 above are for majors. 300 level courses are for certainly also for majors. We will need 300 level above classes, 30 credit hours to graduate with a bachelor degree. A 100 level primary for, okay, here, for freshmen, 200 level for sophomore, 300 level for junior, and 400 level for senior. Well, roughly about that, roughly. Do classes number 0838095 count towards graduation? No. If they don't count towards graduation, are the grades figured into your GPA? 095, no, they don't. They don't. Okay, some other questions which we already did. Where can you find the major minor form? I point you to the website, Golden Link, Go Link, Student Success Academic Advising Center webpage, individual academic department webpage, admissions webpage, register webpage, and you can actually find it a lot of places. Okay, what is the prerequisite? The prerequisite is a class that you have to pass with certain grades to get into another class, Especially for our major classes, a lot of classes have prerequisites. You got to finish, you got to do it in a sequence. For example, construction, you got to take CET 104, construction materials, to get into CET 254, construction methods. And for manufacturing, you got to finish MET 100 to get into MET 101. And then you got to finish MET 101 to get into MET 232. Okay, so those are the prerequisites. General study requirement, we already talked about that. We have core 42. That means you can option to core 42, 42 credit hours of general studies. Those are the old general study requirement. You can take this one too, but this one will require 45 hours. This one, 3 more credit hours because of this category 5, physical education. You got to take a PED 101, but you are welcome to take those. PED 101 is a good class for you too. General studies. And now, can you just declare a major and automatically be accepted? The answer is no. And some departments have entrance requirements. We don't. Engineering department doesn't. Okay. Yeah, but some other department has. It's kind of strange. Our job placement is the highest in the university, among the entire university. Job placement is highest. Our graduate pay is the highest. Starting salary is the highest. Yet we don't have any entrance requirement. We don't have any entrance requirement. Okay. Not many people know that anyway. How do you know what classes, what courses are offered and when? You can do a course search. Go to Missouri Western webpage and click I'm currently a student, and then do a course search. You'll find it out. Distance education cost. If it's doing remotely, I don't know about this semester. If it's normal semester, if you're doing it remotely, you take a online class, it's gonna cost a little bit more. Introductory courses. Those are not general studies. But it's just 100 level, low level classes. Okay, low level classes. I don't know why it's listed here. It's not that a concern to us. But the general studies, those are the general studies class, intro and the general studies class. We talk about some of those more advising trivial. Why should you file a major declaration form? We talk about that. It's very, very important. when should you file it? As soon as you can. What do you go to file it? You can give it to me. It's required that you give it to me as a credit for this class. And also you can give it to your advisor. How do you know when it is on file? If you check your GPS, it will say declared or not declared. Do you know who your advisor is? If you check your GPS, log into your GPS, on your GPS, it will say who is your advisor, okay? Supposedly your advisor will contact you through email too, soon, pretty soon, okay? I will contact my advisor pretty soon. This semester, I'll do the advising all by email, which we already did some. I ask every of you to have a plan of study schedule, a schedule of study of classes. And you can follow that schedule and tell your advisor that, okay, I had a schedule made up and here is what I plan to take next semester. Please check it for me. And that will make the process go much easier, much smoother. Why do you need an advisor? Okay, so you need an advisor to check that, make sure. And also make sure you're advised, you're being advised. We are, as advisor, I can tell you that we are required to write down all the advising tips on your GPS, If the advisor made some mistake, you can hold the advisor liable for you unable to finish the degree in time. Okay, and your last semester might be free. Your last semester might be free by holding the school liable for misadvised you. Okay, so like in your GPS, there's a note. Every note I put in there, I will not be able to auto. I will not be able to edit. I will not be able to delete. I can't do anything. Okay, so be sure to get advised, and also be sure your advising is recorded in your GPS. We are required to do so. However, if you don't come to advisor, don't come to an advisor for advising, then the advisor say, well, the student never came, so I don't have anything recorded, which is okay. But if you come and we tell you what class to take, we have to write it down on the GPS, in the notes section, Early intervention, if you didn't do so good, you don't come to class, then we will send notice, the instructor will send notice to the advisor to report that you didn't do very good. And hopefully none of us will need that. But if you didn't do very good, that's what we're gonna do. Early intervention. What is this? Advising is a shared responsibility. okay? And those talks about your responsibility, your advisee and advisor's responsibility and students' responsibility, okay? Selecting a general education curriculum, you can select either one, the traditional 45 hours or the core 42. There's not a whole lot of difference. The only difference is that that PED 101 is not in core 42. Okay, so you can select either one. You can select either one. But if you are transfer student, that means you transfer from outside in, or you transfer to an outside school, then you have to take core 42. Then you have to take core 42. So that's this one here. Oh, that's this. Yeah. How do I register for classes? How do I register for classes? You guys were told to do so in admissions office, and I will repeat it here, how you register for class. You got to get advised and get a PIN number. This PIN number is personal identification number, this PIN number. And then you log into your GoLink account, and on the student tab, you click on the student tab, and there's an add and drop class. If you click that, that will ask you to enter your PIN number. Once you enter the PIN number, then you can add classes. Okay, you can add classes. We'll probably talk a little bit more next week about how to register for class. If you have any questions, now you can email this advisor at MissouriWestern.edu. That's, I think, a Center for Academic Support, Success, CAS. Okay, another thing is holds. There are different type of holds on your account. It must be taken care of before you can register for classes. The common codes are financial hold, common holds are financial holds, business office holds, athletic holds, admissions holds, and those. Okay, last one here. So, very exciting, okay? And if you don't hear from your advisor soon, I would say maybe by next week or so, contact your advisor, send an email, when can I come for advising? And it's exciting. You almost, you can see the end of tunnel of this semester now. This semester is towards the end of the semester now, and you are preparing for next semester, which is really exciting, isn't it? I hope everyone is doing good. And let's say, what's the last one here? Questions? Any questions?
So I might have to go back to work for the spring semester. I was thinking about coming back for the fall semester.
Yes.
Would I have to register separately for the fall semester, or could I do that now?
No, you can do it. Very good question. If you take a semester off, not because of suspension or probation, you intentionally take a semester off yourself by not signing up for any classes. Okay, you don't have to do anything. You just don't sign up any classes. You take a semester off. And then you have to apply for readmission. You have to apply for readmission. And that readmission is free. Okay, you don't need to pay any admission fee. It's free. You just need to, it's very easy. It's much easier. You have to apply for readmission. Now, your next semester registration will be as a new student. You will be registered as a new student. Okay.
Would any of my old grades from say this semester still count towards my final GPA?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, it will count. It will count. Now, certainly, if you make good grades, you wish it to be counted. If you make bad grades, then my suggestion to everyone is that if you have a bad grades, let's say one class you get a D or something like that, you want to take the same class again so that it will flush out your old grades and your GPA will be raised. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Let's say if okay, great. Yeah. So I'm gonna, any further questions? We're gonna talk a little bit more about how actually we sign up the classes, like the scheduler and the GPS scheduler, and how do we really go into for the course search. And we'll talk a little bit more about that next semester, next week. And for those of you haven't turned in previous assignment yet, I can tell you I only have one finished Title IX so far. I only have now I only have one student, Liberty, that turned in every assignments except the Title IX. Okay, except the Title IX so far. So if you haven't finished those assignments, please work on and turn in as soon as you can. Okay. Any more questions? If no, I wish everyone have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Okay.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one.
You too.